In this video, what we're looking at is the ethics of using computers, so computers and ethics. And we're going to look at two aspects of this. One of them is going to be to do with minority groups. And one of the other aspects we're going to be looking at is to do with globalization. So the first one of these, which is minority groups, that's looking at any group of people which is in a minority, so there's not so many of them within a country, a small group of people. And this could be anything. This could be people that speak different languages. This could be people who cannot read or write. It could be people who have some kind of disability. And so what we're looking when we're creating software or computer systems is, ethically, are we doing the best we can to help out people who aren't in the majority of our users? So for different languages, it might be that we provide translations within the software. For people who can't read and write or have difficulties with reading and writing, it might be that we provide icons or images. And for people with disabilities, it depends on the disability. So for example, if they have difficulties reading, their eyesight's poor, it might be that we have an option to change the text size. It might be that we have a text-to-speech system, or we have audio recordings. Equally, for people who have difficulties with their sight, it might be that we allow them to change the colours so that they have highly contrasting colours which make it easier for them to see. So this is all to do with disabilities. And this is one aspect of ethics. Another aspect of ethics is to do with globalisation. Globalisation is the ability for us now to buy products, possibly in the UK, possibly abroad, but these will be shipped in having been produced abroad. Or it might be that we're having services now, so we phone up a company and we happen to get that service perhaps in India, maybe our products are made in China. That seems the most popular at the moment. And to illustrate one globalization situation, let's look at the UK and China, which is over here. So if you buy products here and they're made over in China, the chances are very high that they're made by a company called Foxconn. And Foxconn is an absolutely massive company. It has hundreds of thousands of employees. In some cases, it almost has their own cities of people that produce the products. So they will have the factories, they will have the places that they live all in one area. And given this is ethics, it's looking at the ethics of whether it's right to do this, whether this is ethically the right thing to do. The reason that the products are made in China is because it's cheaper to do it. There is no other real reason. If it was cheaper to make them in the UK or in America, they'd be made in the UK or America. So the products are designed, let's take Apple, it will design its products over in America, and then those designs will get taken off to China, where they're produced, and then they're shipped all around the world. That might be to the UK, or it might be over back into America. And so if we look at this, there are good and bad points, if it were. There are ethical arguments both ways as to whether this is a good thing to do. On one side, if we look at 2010, this company Foxconn had certainly reported and claimed 14 suicides within the company. And it was claimed that the reasons for this were because of the working conditions, unpaid overtime, too many working hours, and the difficulties that pose for people. On the other side of it, though, we are looking at a company that was in China, not in the UK or America, and this was seen at the time as being less than the average for the country as a whole. So ethically, while there's an argument we should be doing these jobs where we have better conditions in the West, is it actually right that we take those jobs away from the East and China, where these people may have had even worse conditions than what they did get working in Foxconn? So very difficult ethical arguments for and against. Also, there is the argument that by shipping these products from China, we're taking jobs away from Western countries and sending them over into China, and these are jobs that could be done by unemployed people in our countries. And again, there is the question, should people in our countries have the jobs whereas the people in China are unemployed? There's also the question of whether those people would actually be having those jobs, whether they actually have the skills for them and they're actually being taken away, or whether in fact they can gain more skills and have jobs which are even better. And again, it's too difficult in a short video to go into exactly what is the rights and the wrongs and the balance of these. They're much greyer areas and much more difficult. But what you do need to have is some kind of awareness for the fact that there are globalization ethical arguments for and against what happens at the moment.